So the question is, what is truth, and can people determine the objective truth since they are subjects?
Yeah, it's an excellent question. And let me just say, this person who is asking this question is right on the mark, because I just want to share a screen with you for just a second. Okay, these are the questions that we address when we're presenting the evidence that Christianity is true. And the book that goes through this, as you know, is called I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist. So the first question we ask to discover if Christianity is true is, does truth exist? Because if there's no truth, you can't say Christianity is true, obviously. And of course, if there's no truth, then atheism couldn't be true either, right? Well, obviously there's truth. If there was no truth, the claim there is no truth couldn't be true. It's a self-defeating claim. It's a self-defeating statement. Now, the question asks, what is truth? And truth is what corresponds to reality. Truth is telling it like it is. If I say that I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina right now, that would be true. I'm telling it like it is. If I'd say I'm in Romania right now, that wouldn't be true, okay? Truth is what corresponds to reality. And as Christians, we believe in a couple of major facts about the world. We believe in more than that, but two of the biggest facts we believe are, number one, that God exists, and number two, that Jesus rose from the dead. Because if those two facts are true, that God does exist and Jesus rose from the dead, then Christianity is true. And in order to establish that, what we do is we go through these four questions. Does truth exist? Does God exist? Are miracles possible? And is the New Testament telling the truth about the resurrection? You say, well, why is that so important? Because if Jesus rose from the dead, game over, Christianity is true. Because if Jesus rose from the dead, it shows that he predicted and accomplished his own resurrection. And I just have a personal policy. If somebody predicts and accomplishes his own resurrection from the dead, I just trust whatever the guy says. And so Jesus did that. And the reason he could do that is because God does exist, and therefore miracles are possible. So this is the outline we go through when we're presenting the case that Christianity is true. Does truth exist? Does God exist? Are miracles possible? And is the New Testament true? Is it telling us the truth about the resurrection, particularly of Jesus? That's at a minimum, okay? And how do we determine objective? We don't determine objective truth. We discover objective truth. We don't determine what's true. We discover what's true. And how do we do that? We use our senses, and we rely on the laws of logic. Now, the laws of logic allow us to, after we get sense data into our minds from our five senses, then we can use the laws of logic to analyze what we're getting from our sense data to discover whether or not something is true. Right now, I'm looking at you, Vasily. Given technology and what I know about technology, through my senses, I can sense you're out there. And it is true that you and I are having a conversation right now. Now, could I be wrong about that? Yeah, I could be wrong. You could be a robot. You could be somebody else. You could be an imposter. Yeah, okay, that's all true. But that would be a truth claim too, wouldn't it? If you were an imposter, it wouldn't really be you, okay? So no matter which side you come down on, you're asserting some sort of truth, whether you claim we're having a conversation now or whether we're not.